Hello everybody! Today was a huge day for Smash Bros. There was a gigantic 20-minute presentation for new content in the game, a new patch with more costumes, more characters, and more stages, and of course, I'm gonna talk about it all. But before I do, I wanna address something. There was a ton of new content added today, and almost all of it was leaked beforehand. What would have been an enormous surprise that would have had people frothing at the mouth in excitement was spoiled in one of the most unexciting ways, multiple times. Leaks suck. I miss the days when I'd find something in the game that I had no idea existed, and lose my mind because of it. But now, there are no secrets, and I hope that Sakurai's team can be a little more careful with their information in the future. Just wanted to complain about that first. Let's move on to all the new content. The presentation started with the first new character reveal, Roy. Thanks to some sound files that were found in the Mewtwo patch, everyone knew that Roy was coming back. Well, they already knew if they possessed basic skills of logic and reasoning. So the surprise was ruined, but I was still really happy to see him. Roy was one of my favorite characters in Melee, and this trailer was amazing. This is seriously one of my favorite Smash trailers. Screw you leakers for spoiling my excitement. It starts off with a quick montage of all the Fire Emblem characters fighting, followed by Roy shouting, "Don't forget me!" A huge explosion. I've returned at last. Roy sealed the deal. Get it? Because he's wielding the Sword of Seals? I laughed. And I laughed even harder when Roy killed Roy Koopa. It's so nice to see that stupid joke finally come full circle. The trailer shows off just how much he's changed from Melee. To my delight, Roy has become a semi-clone. But I'll talk about the details of that later. There's several cool sequences in the trailer. A throwback to Fire Emblem 7 with Lyn defending her possible son, an awesome multi-counter, and this epic sequence showing off Roy's Flare Blade charge levels. Shows off his new Final Smash, which thankfully is not a clone of Marth's, and ends off with Roy saying, "For those I must protect, I cannot lose." I love it! Sakurai shows off Roy's new amazing design, and reveals the would-be shocking surprise that Roy is coming with Lucas today, which people have been so excited about. Screw you, leakers. Poor Sakurai, he loves surprising people. His job's ridiculously hard as is, and people take away one of the best parts about it. We then see the new Mii costumes, which were also spoiled beforehand. We've got more Mega Man costumes, a hilarious Animal Crossing costume, the Splatoon costumes, which, thank God, do not turn your Mii's face into this terrifying abomination, and Virtua Fighter costumes? I had to Google that. It's a Sega fighting game series. That's pretty cool. I particularly like the squid hat. It's really cool. The Splatoon costumes also come with an Inkling trophy, which is neat, I guess? Then there was the reveal of... oh, not more. There are 7 more amiibo coming. Each Mii Fighter, Rob, Duck Hunt, and Game & Watch. Game & Watch's amiibo can actually swap out for multiple poses, which is pretty neat. At the very least, this stuff wasn't leaked beforehand, so... yay? Next came the new stage that we knew about, Dreamland from Smash 64. I've always loved this stage. Sakurai says they won't add too many stages, which I don't believe, and after that, we finally get something that wasn't leaked. Hyrule Castle and Peach's Castle are returning from Smash 64. I'm ecstatic about Hyrule Castle, not so much Peach's Castle. I'd have preferred Saffron City. But there is still time for that one to return as well. After the new stages, we finally get some info on the Miiverse stage, which has finally been released. Each character has a Miiverse community that you can post pictures to, and if you play as that character, the game will pull pictures from the corresponding community to cheer you on. Which is pretty neat. I, for one, cannot wait to see how many inappropriate pictures I spot while playing. Then we get the last bit of non-spoiled content. The announcement when we'll get tournament modes. I'm super excited for these. I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to create custom tourneys for my YouTube subscribers. That has potential to be really fun. It'll be coming, hopefully, in August. Speaking of YouTube, there will soon be functionality to upload replays directly to YouTube. I don't know if I'll ever use that, maybe for my gameplay channel, but it's a very cool addition. And then the final announcement. which would have shocked every Smash fan on the planet if it hadn't been spoiled weeks ago. Ryu is the first newcomer DLC character, a third-party character at that. The trailer starts, shows off Ryu's ridiculously complicated moveset, the new Street Fighter stage, a Mii costume from Tekken, and his 2 Final Smashes. Sakurai goes into detail for Ryu's moveset, which I will do later, reveals that Ryu and Roy will also have amiibo, Kirby's Ryu power is ridiculously adorable, and it ends with the sadly not shocking reveal that Ryu will also be released today. All in all, it was a good presentation that could have been amazing if it hadn't been spoiled prior. Oh well. Let's talk about the stuff that was added. Before we get into the specifics, there were balance changes in this patch. I'm not going to waste my time going through them all, I'll just leave a link in the description to the community patch notes. The Mii costumes are pretty cool. I didn't like any of them enough to actually change my current Miis, with the exception of the squid hat, because it looks hilarious. I really like all the new stages that were added in this patch. They don't have any game-breaking hazards that kill you more than other players do, the Miiverse posting can be brilliant, sometimes, and most importantly, it allowed for more than 20 new songs to get into the game. 20! I almost don't care what stages are added in the future, so long as we keep getting that much music along with them. The Street Fighter stage has a really cool gimmick that when you are nearing the end of a match, either 30 seconds remaining on the clock, or only 1 stock left, the music will intensify. I wish more stages had stuff like that, because it works so well. Like the characters, these stages are fully integrated with the game. They appear in all of the modes, show up online, all that good stuff. They also have their own separate page on the select screen, which is why I doubt Sakurai's claim that they won't add too many stages. The new trophies are cool, and it's nice to have them unlocked for you immediately. I hate having to find them in-game. Still no new custom moves though, for neither Mewtwo or the new characters. And, the most important thing by far, the characters. First off, let's talk about Lucas. I've always enjoyed Lucas more than Ness in Smash Bros. He focuses more on psionic attacks, which I enjoy using more. His PK Freeze is much faster than Ness's PK Flash, his side magnet does damage to others, and his up smash is ridiculously awesome. It's the strongest one in the entire game. Lucas seems to be a bit faster in this game. His tether does damage and is longer, meaning it's actually pretty useful. His animations and sounds have been updated. His sonic attacks in particular sound much more, for lack of a better word, sparkly. And his final smash has been updated like Ness's was. He's also got new palette swaps, with cool nods to other Earthbound characters, like the Masked Man, or his dog, Boney. I wasn't terribly good with Lucas in Brawl, and nothing's really changed. I've never learned how to properly recover with PK Thunder, and his back air Meteor Smash is so hard to land. But he's still super fun to play with in this game, and I really like him as a character this time around. He seems a lot happier than he was in Brawl. Next we've got Ryu. Ryu is a weird character. He's from a completely different fighting game, and he functions like he would in his own game. His sound effects, animations, and gameplay are all based off of Street Fighter, to the point that I almost feel like he doesn't fit in, though that's not necessarily a bad thing. His sound effects in particular don't sound like anything else in the game, particularly when he hits someone and when someone hits his shield. I can't get over it, it's weird. He's got more moves than any other character in the game. His attacks will change based on whether you tap or hold down a button. You can enter directional commands to make your ability stronger, you can animation cancel, combo easily. I'm no expert on competitive Smash, but he feels like he's going to be a top tier character, if not completely broken. And he's got 2 Final Smashes, because why not? Since he's such a technical character, you feel really skilled pulling off some of his more complicated moves, even though you probably suck badly at playing him like me. Trying to do a Shakunetsu Hadouken, and accidentally use a Tatsumaki Senpakuka, I don't know, and run straight into Roy's Flare Blade. I also can't figure out how to do a stronger Shoryuken to save my life. Could someone please explain that to me? Regardless, he's a very fun character to play as. Pulling off consecutive combos is awesome, his Meteor Smash is difficult to use but satisfying, he's got great taunts,
Come on. Talk is cheap.
and a Goku palette swap to boot. If all of the DLC newcomers are going to be as creative as Ryu, I can't wait to see the others. Perhaps a character that could throw his limbs as attacks and disassemble. I don't know, I'm just throwing out ideas here. And lastly, let's talk about our boy Roy. Roy is my favorite of the 3 new characters added to the game. He may be one of my favorite characters in the game. He feels so much stronger than he did in Melee. His design is so much cooler, and his animations and moves have been changed to make him a semi-clone. Where Marth is a royal prince, with precise attacks designed to rely on a player's skill to properly position yourself in order to hit your opponents with the tip of your blade, and Lucina is a noob version of Marth for those who can't space properly, Roy is much more aggressive and destructive. His attacks are strongest when he's closest to his opponents, and he likes setting his opponents on fire. Several of his moves have different animations. A couple of them function completely differently, several of them have added fire effects, and they all feel stronger and quicker. His up B can be angled to go more horizontally, his stolen Ike's down air, which also spikes, his neutral B, Flare Blitz, is still a one-hit KO move if you charge it up fully. His forward tilt and forward smash are ridiculously strong, and his final smash is awesome. Like Marth and Lucina's, it's a critical hit, but unlike Marth and Lucina's, it's a giant fiery explosion of doom. I like it. He's extremely fun to play, and I laugh at those who complain about his inclusion. And that's everything for this patch. Lots of cool content that's super fun to play, and would have been super exciting to see for the first time. Hopefully we get an awesome new character surprise at the digital event to compensate for this. Well, I can't think of anything else to say here. I want to go back to playing Smash as soon as possible, so like, share, and subscribe if you so desire. I hope you're all enjoying life, and I'll see you later this week for whatever other videos I make about E3. Oh, and King Dedede's name was fixed so it fit on one line. This is important.